Yeah, look at that. Marsh grass and haze coming together. Yeah, not the way you would normally expect to use this color. Marsh candy. Welcome back, everybody, to the World's Worst Fishing. I'm your host, Chris Jones. It is good to be back. We have been gone far too long. Sometimes life gets in the way and I'm not always able to make content every week like I really wish that I could. With that said, this video is long overdue. Okay, I want to take you guys to a very special pigment called marsh grass. Okay, it's Dead on Plastics marsh grass. This is not a new color. It's not a new pigment. It's not new to the market. It's not new to me. But it is long overdue that it has its day in the sunshine. This is a really special pigment that unlocks so much natural color building potential and opportunity. Man, just what can I say? Some of the best shad colors and minnow colors and just natural colors come from this. So we're going to take a look at marsh grass today, and we're going to start off by doing a color that we all know, we all love, we've probably all used it half of our fishing careers, Arkansas Shiner. Okay, so we have everything sort of laid out here, and we're going to start with 2 cups here of the Dead on Plastics Black Label swim bait blend, because we're going to be doing jerk baits, flukes as you guys might know them, and a really great minnow mold called the Tracer Shad. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and nuke these up in the microwave and meet you right back, and then we're going to build the first color. So real quick, I just want to show you some of the versatility of marsh grass, right? We have this minnow match that I did. That top color right there is marsh grass base with a little bit of yellow added to sort of brighten it up and yellow it up. But like I said, you know, sort of in my introduction, this is really a fantastic tool for the bait maker who is serious about mature color building, right? We all run to get our blue craws, run to get our motor oils, you know, our morph colors, our color shift powders, hyper shifts, all that. This right here will take it to the next level in terms of color matching. Here's another one where marsh grass came into play. You can see again that top color, very heavy on the marsh grass base, with a couple of dead shift powders to give it that effect. So yeah, you know, this is really a secret weapon when you're talking about natural color building. Alright, so let's get going on the top side. Obviously marsh grass. And if I had to describe marsh grass straight out of the bottle, I would say it's sort of a shade of brown with a hint of an army green undertone, with a really beautiful kind of fool's gold pearl about it. Alright, and for the bottom side, we're going to start with regular white, not white pearl. To me, Arkansas Shiner is more of a regular base white, but it's a little bit off-white, so maybe a drop of brown here, okay? Oops, sorry. Yeah, maybe a drop of brown, okay? Alright. And that will just kind of turn that into a slight off-white. You know what? Maybe even more. A real simple color build here, alright? You know what? I didn't shake the brown up, so that's why it's so light. Alright, time to rock and roll. Alright, top side on the right. Let's line her up. So basically we're going to do the 3 and 3.5 inch tracer shads. Then we're going to do the 5-inch jerkbait. Yeah, looking good. Alright. See if I can get it going there. Oh yeah. That felt good. Alright, let's take a look at this first tracer shad mold. Okay, that is the 3-inch. Beautiful. Yeah, look at that. Good Lord. Just have to zoom in to get it in focus. Yeah, there we go. And I did add a little bit of pearl powder to it off camera, sort of last moment. I was like, yeah, maybe we need some pearl. But as you can see, just a super, super base right out of the pigment bottle Arkansas shiner there. Okay, this should be the larger tracer shad, unless my memory is failing me. Yep, okay, the 3.5 inch. Beautiful. There we go. Look at that. So I'm curious, any bait makers at home, if you have a history of making Arkansas shiner, how do you like to make it? Do you make your bottom a little bit darker than mine? Mine came out a smidge white, if I just remember what like the zoom looks like. But yeah, looking good, and this will probably be the most opaque color that we make today. Okay, I am really hoping that these turned out, because this is how I know Arkansas shiner is a fluke. A fluky fluke mold. Oh yeah. So I remember being a young lad in high school throwing Arkansas shiner flukes. Look at that. Let's see. See if we can zoom in a smidge. Yeah, there we go. Get it to focus. Okay, sorry about that. Had the hardest time focusing. Yeah. Yep, I think that does exactly what I want it to do. So yeah, just a really, really simple build, a simple way to get one of the all-time great natural colors, Arkansas shiner. Okay, so we just saw Arkansas shiner, super simple but effective, beautiful recipe. You know, you can tweak that however you want. But yeah, super. I mean, as soon as I saw marsh grass, I thought Arkansas shiner. Like, this is years ago now. Like I said, it's an old pigment. But now let's look at it laminated with some shifty effects. Okay, so this is likely how you would try to use this at home. We're going to laminate it with some dead shift, hollow shift, hyper shift, right? All the shifts, you know, that we're all familiar with, and likely that we all have a little bit of at home. Let's see what we can come up and show you how marsh grass looks with all of these other exciting colors, and sort of open up even more of its versatility. All right, so top side, you can guess marsh grass, and then for the bottom, let's add a hyper shift. All right, something, well, I hand wrote it, ZGN. All right, so we'll see what this does. And I think this is sort of going to be our trout-like example today, all right? Yeah, this will have kind of a trout vibe about it, just simply because of the two colors here, right? We have sort of the marsh grass top, you know, your kind of green, gold, pearlish top, and then somewhat of a pink bottom, all right? And we're going to bring out, okay, we're going to bring out this powder a little bit by adding a little bit of black, okay? All right, so we're going to mix our black in, and not a lot, all right? We're just going to use what's on the tip of that knife. Look at that. Completely transformed it, all right? And then a little bit of black flake for each. And I wasn't necessarily going for trout here, right? We're just putting combinations together, showing you how good this looks pretty much any way that you can use it. There's no bad way to use marsh grass. It's kind of like purple. It looks good in everything, and you can't really screw it up. All right. Okay, so we will, yeah, show you what this looks like here in just a moment. All right, here we go. Let's go, baby. Yeah, that felt good there. All right, next. And last but not least. Yeah. This is always fun to see how the color looks inside the blending block. Oh, yeah, hold on. Don't you love that effect right there? Oh, wow. Look at how the marsh grass turns gold, right? It's almost got a shift of its own. And then you have that. Yeah, I think this will be a winner, guys. Oh, yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Time to demold. All right, first tracer up. The little tracer. Oh, wait, yeah, wait, no, this is the big tracer. All right, let's see if we can focus. Yeah, look at this. Sort of a rainbow shad, right? Good Lord at the focus today, guys. Yeah, look at this. That purdy. Yeah, here are the little tracers, the 3-inch. Very neat. Yeah, there are the jerk baits. You can kind of see the shift effect when we move the angle, and you can see sort of how the color shift, the color changes on the marsh grass top too there. Look at that. Look at how well it just pairs with everything, you know. And yeah, I think it's really cool how this color sort of has the ability to take something, you know, super bright in your face, you know, like these, super hyper shifting powders can be, but turns them into a natural color. You know, had I just laminated that with black, it just wouldn't look quite as natural, right? I mean, this, you know, this color can do everything from, as you can see, sort of trout pattern. It can be the back of a minnow, right? You know, it can be your Arkansas shiner. It can be your Tennessee shad. It can be your gizzard shad. It can be so many things. And that right there just really speaks again to, I think, just how well this color matches with pretty much anything you can throw at it. And that's sort of the purpose of today's video. All right, let's do another one. You guessed it, marsh grass for one side. Whew, too good. Too good. I love how it can look brown, green, and gold all at the same time. All right, and then the other side, haze. Ooh la la. Come on, focus, baby. Dead shift haze. Absolutely stunning powder. All right, look at that. Oh. Oh, mama. Yeah. It sort of looks pink, purple, and blue all at the same time. Yeah, you can kind of get a little taste of that. And if you want to bring it out a little bit more, you add just a smidgelage of black, okay? But we're probably going to keep it as is. All right. And just like the last color, we're just going to add some flake for texture, right? You can add, obviously, whatever color flakes you desire. All right. You can't really go wrong. But whenever showing off colors, I like to keep the flakes somewhat to a minimum, just so that you can really see the colors, okay? You know, trying to show you marsh grass today, you know, as you might pair it with some effects at home, right? I want to really make sure that I don't overdo the flakes, so that your eye is not distracted, because your eye does get distracted whether you know it or not. All right, here we go. Marsh grass and haze. Lock and load. Boom. Here we go. Oh yeah, feeling good. Next. And next. Beautiful. Of course, using the AI premium dual injector here with the locking blending block with the insulated Teflon inserts. An amazing piece of equipment. All right, there they are. Marsh grass and haze. Two beautiful dead-on colors coming together. Look at that. Look at that. All right, here's a quick little recap. Right? Same base top color, same sort of idea, right? Just a two-color laminate. Look at how well it wears each and every one. Pretty cool. Okay, so we've seen a few laminate examples now using marsh grass as sort of the base top color laminated over some different effects. Now I'm just going to show you to you in the most basic way that you can use it. Let's just say you're a new bait maker, you got a bottle of marsh grass. What can I do? We're just going to add some flakes to it and basically make marsh grass candy, a marsh grass version of watermelon candy, which is a beautiful, simple color. I think it's going to look pretty cool. Let's go ahead and check that one out. So while we have our final color cooking in the microwave here, wanted to show y'all something that I might not ever have again on this table. 64 3-layer laminate, if I can get one out here. 3-layer laminate. June bug, morning dawn worms. Yeah, there it is. My focus is going crazy here. Yep. So I wonder how many different individual layers that is that I hand poured. There's 64 worms at 3 layers. Kinda cool. Kinda crazy. Okay, so for the last color build, we're gonna go marsh grass. You guessed it. How did you guys guess? All right. And then we're just gonna add flakes, right? Just like your most simple beginner colors, right? We all started with squeezing some color out of a bottle and loading her up with different flakes to see what we get. That's sort of what a lot of store-bought colors are. They're a solid color with flake. All right. So you want to be able to make pretty colors that way as well. Not everything has to be a fancy pants laminate. So essentially, this is a watermelon candy recipe, but instead of watermelon for the pigment base, we're using marsh grass. So this will be marsh candy, as I'm going to affectionately call it. Yeah, not too shabby. Just sort of a whole opposite end of the spectrum. Just to show you, wow, this color really seems to be able to do anything. This is a very important pigment, and I know a lot of people have it, but hopefully this will inspire people to use it in different ways, as I think Travis intended. All right, here we go. We have 2 worm molds here, and let's send it. First one up. All right. This is the AI spade tail worm mold. Okay. Then this one is the 7.5 inch legend worm. It's sort of a true curly tail worm. It's not a ribbon tail worm. No, no, no. This is a true curly tail, and you'll see what I mean by that in just a moment. Y'all thought I was going to forget. Drum roll, please. Here we go. Here is the spade worm. Oh yeah. Let's see if we can lay it back in there. Somewhat nice and neat. Yeah. Look at that. Very pretty. Marsh candy. Whoo! Not bad. Not the way you would normally expect to use this color. Marsh candy. Alright, and there are the curly tails. You can see what I mean. A real true traditional curly tail. A lot of what we make are ribbon tails. Let me see if I can get her to focus here. There we go. Yeah. Look at that. Right, just the simplest way that you can do it and still looks absolutely gorgeous. This just shows to, this just goes to show it can be shiner, it can be shad, it can be, bluegill, right? know, a lot of people, whenever they think watermelon candy, you know, they think of something that sort of has the color profile of bluegills, right? This is why people throw watermelon candy. It's not because all the fish have a sweet tooth and want to eat Skittles. It's because this has overall hues and colors of a bluegill. So, yeah, pretty cool. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap the marsh grass nerd out video up. I was actually scheduled to go fishing today. 36-mile-an-hour wind gusts with sustained winds of 15 miles an hour. It is absolutely ripping out there, so I'm much better off doing this today than getting blown around. I think there's like a small craft advisory out. Yeah, no good. So lots of bad weather moving across the country this weekend. That's eventually going to wind up here, so be safe, everybody. But yeah, this was really fun, and like I said at the beginning, it's been a long time coming. And what's really interesting is that we kept it super simple today, okay? So despite the fact that we did some really cool laminates, and some of those colors came out, you know, just super awesome, at least I think so, they're actually very simple. We never once manipulated marsh grass. Straight out of the bottle on every variation that we did today. We basically just changed the belly color that it was laminated with and or added flake. We did not even spike it with black. We did not add powder to it. We did not brighten it with yellow. We did not brown it with more brown. We did not green it with more green. And you can do all those things, right? So you can take your marsh grass and maybe you want it to be a little bit more watermelon color, right? So you could add some Dead on Plastics melons. You could add even a flow lime or a lime green to it. You could even brighten it with chartreuse. You could brown it with more brown. You can darken it and thicken it with some black. You can add one of the powders to it, not just in the belly color. There's so much going on here. And one of those colors that I showed you earlier, particularly that little minnow, that 4-layer minnow match, that was marsh grass brightened with a little bit of yellow. So, you know, today I just kind of wanted to show you how well the color itself works in different variations with different colors, different laminates, different flakes. But there's so much more that you can do when you treat it as a natural base as well as just straight out of the bottle. And that stuff would have taken all weekend to show you a bunch of colors doing that. But the whole point is to take something like this. This is really made with advanced and mature color building in mind, and I think this gives you, I think, the best straight out of the bottle base color for those natural brim, for the backs of a minnow color or a shad color, you know, particularly a gizzard shad or Tennessee shad. This is going to be a starting point for some of the best natural colors I think you'll ever do. This stuff is absolutely incredible. Take it from me. I pull my hair out all day long out here trying to come up with some of these natural browns and natural greens. You know, just really study colors of smelt, of minnows, of bait fish. You're going to see a lot of applications real quick that you can use marsh grass for. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. We are out here doing our best to make soft baits great again. You can't really see the shirt. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do out here and have a lot of fun with it. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Be on the lookout for the next Casting Creations podcast. We'll see you in the next video.